right, guys, welcome back. MMA gambling expert here. We got a great card coming up. You guys know, like if you guys have been following my YouTube channel at MMA gambling expert, you guys know, Arman Saryukin has been our boy. We have been gambling on Arman Saryukin since he entered the UFC. You know, he fought Makhachev. It came close. That's his only loss in the UFC, actually. And he has an amazing fight coming up. I don't understand the matchmaking here, kind of, just because I feel like Gamrot and Saryukin are both on their way to be top 5 fighters for the next few years. You know, we got Gamrot representing Poland. We got Saryukin representing Armenia. And we're just going to get right into it. Let's start at the beginning of the card, guys. And at the beginning of the card, we got Jinh Yu Frey coming up. She's going to be fighting Vanessa Demopoulos. As you guys know, Vanessa Demopoulos, she's a black belt in stripper pole dancing or whatever she does on her Instagram. She claims she's a black belt in strip dancing, whatever. So you guys can check that out on her social media if you guys are into that stuff. I'm going to give you guys a gambling perspective here, not the attractiveness perspective here. I could see that everyone is on Jinh Yu Frey in this slot. I could see why. Jinh Yu Frey, she's a little more experienced. They're both in their 30s. She's a little more experienced. She's training out of Force MMA with Saif Saud, who's an excellent coach. Excellent coach. He doesn't get enough credit for being the coach he is. He's an excellent coach. And Demopoulos, she's no bum. That's what you got to get at. Demopoulos is very athletic. She defeated Juarez, who just came off of a highlight knockout about a couple weeks ago. She submitted her. JJ Aldrich, that's a bad loss right there. JJ Aldrich, she's overrated. Another good win right there. Lupita Godinez, honestly, man, she should be in the top 15. I won't count that as a loss for her. But Corey McKenna, yeah, Corey McKenna's a good fighter. Let's see where Jinh Yu Frey's losses are. We got, Kay Hansen. She has some good wins. Gloria DePaula, who we just seen lose over the weekend. We made some money on her. If you guys kept up with my social media, we made some money on DePaula losing. So this fight, I'm not going to lie to you guys. When it comes down to women's fights, you can't be too confident in either side, especially because a lot of the times you're coming into a women's fight and it's a 50-50 fight. And then one of the girls is coming in at like minus 250 plus. In this case, we got Jinh Yu Frey coming in at minus 260. Yeah, she should win the fight, but there's no money to be made here. I see the consensus, the crowd, for my research is on Demopoulos, actually. A lot of people are trying to fade the favorite here. Personally, myself, I'm not going to have too many shares of this fight. I do think the value is on Demopoulos, though. If you guys want to see my final prediction for this fight, you could tune into my channel, MMA Gambling Expert. We're going to move on to the next fight. We got Mario Batista coming in to fight Brian Kelleher. Y'all already know what we think of Brian Kelleher. If you guys have followed my channel at all, we make money off of betting against Kelleher. So coming up into his last 5 fights, Umar, you can't really say anything about losing to Umar Nurmagomedov. I've watched Umar. I've seen his grappling. I've seen his striking. Dude is as legit as they come. Like, he's about to skyrocket through the rankings. Like, that's not a bad loss at all. And I don't like Kelleher, I'll be honest. Kevin Kroom, that's a solid victory. Kroom is well-rounded. He comes to fight, and if you're not well-rounded, he will beat you. So Kelleher beat him by decision. Don't really know who that guy is. Ricky Simon is no joke, guys. Ricky Simon is a beast. I've made so much money on Ricky Simon. Ray Rodriguez also. Ray Rodriguez is a tough guy, guys. He's not a big name, but Ray Rodriguez, he can wrestle. He can strike. He's a solid guy. And Kelleher has been coming up with wins against you. Now he's fighting Mario Batista, who's coming in at 7 years younger than him. He's coming in at 28 years old. He has a 3-inch height advantage. He has a 5-inch reach advantage, and he's fighting out of the MMA lab. And he just came off a decision victory over Jay Perrin. Not too impressive, but he's making progress. Lost to Trevin Jones. No disrespect in that. I really do think, like, I do think Trevin Jones could beat Kelleher. Good victory against Milo Johns. Milo Johns is a well-rounded grappler, very well-rounded grappler. So that's a good victory in my opinion. And then a submission loss to Corey Sandhagen. I'm trying not to judge that too hard just because Sandhagen's on the rise. But we all know Sandhagen's no expert grappler. He's no expert jiu-jitsu guy. I feel like if Mario Batista tries to shoot and bring this fight to the ground with a typical double leg, he has to be very, very cautious of that guillotine. I think Batista's going to, I'm pretty confident Batista's going to take this fight, and I'm actually going to lay a little, I'm going to lay some money on Batista here. Batista's a solid fighter. Not the best, but in this case, he has much more potential than Brian Kelleher. In this case, Brian Kelleher has moved around. He's fought at lightweight. He's fought at featherweight. He's fought at bantamweight. Batista's more of a bantamweight fighter. And I think physically he has the advantage here. I'm not going to lie and say he's a better fighter. I'm not going to lie. Brian Kelleher has more experience. Brian Kelleher is a finisher. He has some knockout power. And then, if you took a sloppy shot against him, he will put you in that guillotine and submit you. But our first pick of of this card right now, we're going to go with Mario Batista. If you guys want to see exactly how he's being bet, tune into the MMA Gambling Expert channel and subscribe, tune in, and I'll show you guys exactly how he's bet. And actually, from now on, during the next show, plus, I'm going to give you guys complete transparency over every bet. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next one, guys. We got Cody Durden fighting JP Buys. And everyone knows JP Buys got moved to this card because Roman Dolidze was fighting on the other card. Please, guys, if you guys know what drama is going on, I don't really keep up with this drama and stuff. If you guys know what drama is going on, please fill me in the comments. I would love to read this drama. I'm pretty sure I could assume what it's from. JP Buys is dating Cheyenne Buys, or was dating Cheyenne, or was married to Cheyenne Buys, if I last remember. And there's some little drama going on in between them, as in, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments. For person gives me the best explanation, I'm going to give you guys a shout out. And then we got Cody Durden, guys. Cody Durden, Cody Durden's a solid grappler. He was a high school wrestler. No flaws in the grappling game. He's susceptible to being submitted, especially when he's taking people down. He's not very aware about keeping his head up. His positioning and during takedowns, his chest is not up. So I could see why he's getting put out of position and submitted. But overall, Cody Durden is a scrapper. His last fight, he fought Muhammad Mokaev. Muhammad Mokaev, guys, just from, if you ever see Muhammad Mokaev's name, just put some money on him for his next 5 fights. You won't regret it. That's a nice victory. I can't even pronounce the name, the Mongolian fighter. He's a solid fighter. He has much experience, and Cody took a unanimous decision over him. That's pretty good progress. Lost to Jimmy Flick. He was winning that fight until Jimmy Flick threw a kick, and Cody Durden tried to grab it and landed in triangle. It was impressive triangle by Jimmy Flick. Honestly, man, I've been grappling for fucking 20 years plus, and I'll tell you guys, like, I've never been caught in a flying triangle. I have never been caught in a flying triangle. I don't really see anyone competing with me on the elite jiu-jitsu level getting caught in flying triangles, like at least from the purple to black belt division. So I do kind of worry about that, honestly. If you get caught during your UFC fight, I'm gonna worry about that. Chris Gutierrez took him to a draw. Chris Gutierrez is actually a very good fighter. Honestly, that is the biggest thing that sticks out to me on Durden's record right here, because he's in fights until he's not, And then we got JP Buys, legit submission grappler from South Africa. There's not much talent from South Africa, so there's legitimate talent in the JP Buys. I do like him training out of Extreme Couture. He fought Montel Jackson, who had literally 5 inches in height, maybe like 5+ in reach. And come on, guys. You guys know Montel Jackson is a freak of nature when it comes to strength and athleticism. In that fight, JP Buys actually took him down. JP Buys actually mounted him, grapevined him, and did some good work until he couldn't, until Jackson took over the fight after he was able to escape. He took over the fight for the rest of the fight, but he did have a distinct power and strength advantage. Bruno Silva, everybody knows Bruno Silva trains with Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo, I grew up wrestling all my life. I grew up watching Henry Cejudo is one of the best American wrestlers to come out of America in a long time. He was one of the youngest people to win an Olympic gold medal. It's crazy in that weight class. We never win in the light. Anyone who is a wrestling fan knows in the Olympics, we do not fare well in the lighter weights. So, Henry Cejudo put that on, and Henry Cejudo trains Bruno Silva, and Henry Cejudo, in my opinion, is probably the best flyweight, bantamweight fighter that ever came out of the UFC, in my opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Boxing-wise, he does have a heavy peekaboo style, all of that. But let's get focused back into Bruno Silva. I like Bruno Silva, guys. I've made money off of Bruno Silva multiple times. He comes in and he performs even if he's the underdog. The Durden Buys fight, this one's a toss-up for me. I've been going both ways on this one. The majority of, from what I see, all the experts are on Durden. I do, however, think Durden is susceptible to a submission where JP Buys can catch him, but I also haven't seen JP Buys really submit anyone in the UFC. On the Contender Series, he won via guillotine. Cody's been submitted through guillotines a few. His last fight, he got submitted through a guillotine. But before that, TKO, KO. That's the thing. Like, I really do think there's some value on Buys in this fight by submission. But ultimately, if you're going to pick this fight straight up, I am going to go with Durden. I'm not going to lie. I think his wrestling is solid enough to control Buys. Buys hasn't showed me anything to make me worry about him, to make me worry that he's going to catch Durden in a submission. He hasn't been doing that, guys. He really hasn't. He really hasn't against a lot of people. And Durden's a standout wrestler from high school. So, guys, I'm going to tell you guys, Durden, I'm going to go with Durden here, but tune into the MMA Gambling Expert channel, and you'll see my exact bet. I'm going to have some prop plays on JP Buys, I'm not going to lie. But overall, I think Durden should win this fight by decision. He's a solid grappler, gets good takedowns. He fights hard. He fights for your money, too. So, next, we got Paiva versus Morozov. I'm actually excited for this fight. I know that's not the popular opinion. Not many people are high on Morozov, especially after he came in with all those losses. Like, Morozov came in from M1, and he had a solid record. But then if you look through his M1 record, a lot of these guys that beat him are in the UFC now, and they're doing well, way better than Morozov is doing. But then you got Paiva. Paiva's a solid fighter, guys. There's a lot of disrespect. He lost to Sean O'Malley. And anyone who knows, Sean O'Malley's an accurate puncher. Definitely not the best. Not even close to being top 3 in the bantamweight division. He may never be in his entire career. I know he gets a lot of hype, whatever, because there's money to be made out of him. Lost to Sean O'Malley. Kyler Phillips, win. Kyler Phillips is a beast. Took him by majority decision. Zaga Zamagulov. You guys seen him a couple weeks ago. Guy put on. He puts on during his fights, man. He fights. Let's see what else. Damn, I'm convincing myself to take Paiva here, man. Mark De La Rosa, another victory. Hajiro Bontarine. Guys, if you guys know, 2 weeks ago, Bontarine was supposed to fight. He was my favorite underdog on that card. Everyone was taking Kape. I'm like, why are you guys taking Kape? Kape tested positive for steroids back in the day. Ever since he came to the from Ryzen. Ryzen doesn't really drug test. They do test sometimes and pop people, but it doesn't matter if you pop positive. You get to fight anyways. So Kape came in, blah, 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 whatever. Everyone thought he was going to come and take out Bontarine. I had so much money on Bontarine before the fight got canceled. But you guys know, I think Bontarine is a legitimate loss. So Sean O'Malley, we don't know how really good he is, man. We really don't. Like go through Sean O'Malley's record. like, where are these high-level guys? The only high-level guy he's faced that's prominent right now is Marlon Vera, and Marlon Vera put an end to him. So, and anyone who says that was a fluke, you don't know about fighting. You don't know about fighting at all, actually. Leg kicks are the worst. When I fight, I'm 8-0. I avoid leg kicks at all costs. I know how to counter leg kicks. I'm always prepared for leg kicks. Why? Because they do some of the most damage and annoyance in a fight. He has a recent loss to Douglas Silva de Andrade. Douglas Silva de Andrade is a solid fighter, guys. Solid fighter. Kali Taha, good fighter too, man. Well-rounded. Umar, everyone loses to Umar. Josh Reddinghouse, we got a good win. That's about 3 years ago. Okay, we got another one about 3 years ago. Guys, in this fight, Paiva's coming out. He's training out of Team Alpha Male. Most people are actually on Paiva, according to Tapology, which is kind of tripping me out a little bit. But I'm not going to lie, guys. In this fight, I'm going to have to take Julian Paiva. And I'll tell you guys why. Julian Paiva's, in my opinion, has a more diverse striking arsenal. In this fight, I don't think anyone's going to be finished, honestly. I really do think this fight is going to come down to points. And, I see a lot of people on Murzov, a lot of people disrespecting Paiva here. I think Paiva is a 50-50 fight, guys. Like a lot of people are looking at this fight thinking Morozov's gonna fly right through him. He's a parlay piece, but you guys gotta be very careful, man. Very careful, and look at the people they have fought. Analyze who they fought. Styles made fights. And in this case, Murzov, I respect Murzov. I respected him a lot more when I was doing research on who's our boy that fights at featherweight? Movsar Ivliev. We've made so much money on doing research on Ivliev, and I ran into Murzov, and I started looking into Murzov, and he hasn't been doing that all that well. He hasn't been all that hot recently, honestly. So for this fight, I'm gonna take the underdog in Paiva here. But for my official prediction, make sure to tune into the MMA Gambling Experts channel. Guys, we're going into the next fight, and I'm starting to get excited, guys. Like, seriously. Like, this is when the fights start to pick up. Next fight, we got TJ Brown with Shaylin Nordian-Becky. Actually, in this fight, guys, this isn't where I was getting hyped. I was actually getting hyped for the fight after this, and I'll be hyped for the rest of the show after this. TJ Brown, solid fighter. TJ Brown coming in. He's coming off of 2 wins. Charles Rosa, solid. Kai Kamaka, solid. Danny Chavez. Danny Chavez is a tough guy, guys. He's underrated, man. He did get knocked out last week. But if you look at him skill set overall, the way he maintains distance, the scrappiness, Danny Chavez is a solid fighter. Jordan Griffin, I don't respect that via submission. I really can't. I'm not very high on Jordan Griffin here. Another submission on the Contender Series, whatever. Sean Soriano, victory. Kulaba looked good his last fight. Wang, losing record, if you guys noticed. Yeah. I mean, TJ Brown has fought the better competition in the UFC so far. Nerdum whatever his name is. He's a solid fighter with a shit ton of experience, guys. But experience isn't everything. He has a lot of experience, but he has never been impressive. So I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna side with the favorite on the money line right here. TJ Brown. I will have some prop plays on this fight. I'm not gonna lie. Tune into the MMA Gambling Expert those. And also make sure to subscribe to Win Day Sports. Every single Tuesday, we're going to bring you a show that gets better and better. I know I've been promising you guys it from my other channel, and you guys have been supporting me and private messaging me, but it's time, guys, So we're going to go into our next fight. I'm going to take TJ Brown here. I don't know if I'm going to actually have a play in this fight. I really do think Nuremberg might be able to control him with the grappling. I'm not too high in that fight. I'm not going to have too much shares in that fight, but I think TJ Brown is the rightful favorite. I think he has some size on him. TJ Brown's a rightful favorite. Am I going to bet him? No. I'll be honest, guys. Next fight, I love. You guys know if you kept up with me, I love Defon Chukwe. Dude is a murderous kickboxer with some power. Solid fighter. He did come off of a loss, and I was upset. In his last fight, he got knocked out. I'm not gonna lie, I had to play on Chukwe there. Like, I've been betting on Chukwe. You know, Mike Rodriguez, he won that fight and made us some money. Then he lost to Junior Park, lost me some money. Then he won against Jamie Pickett, made me some money. Al Matavo made me some money. But, you know, he has failed us a couple of times. And we've been riding him hard. Carlos Alberg, goddamn, if Carlos Alberg, his cardio can match his volume and striking, Carlos Alberg is going to be one of these guys where you don't want to fight. The volume and the variety of strikes he has is insane. The pressure is insane. You know, I could see how he has some losses. He's gassed out. But I'm not going to lie, guys. Everyone's on Chukwe. Everyone I know is on Chukwe. All my friends are on Chukwe. But in this fight, I'm going to take Carlos Alberg. I think Carlos Alberg comes in with the better conditioning. He's fighting out of City Kickboxing. City Kickboxing fighters are like most of them. Look through the City Kickboxing roster. Look through all the fighters and tell me none of them are well coached. Every single one of them is well coached. Every single one of them is battle ready. So, I mean, Alberg came up short in one of his fights. He gassed out. In the Chukwe fight, he gassed out. Yeah, whatever. But that doesn't define him. Everyone loses once in a while. Chukwe as well loses once in a while. But in this fight, I'm going to go with my boy. I like the volume striking. I like Carlos Alberg here. And I'm not against anyone picking Chukwe. I actually been back and forth on this fight. The reason I'm taking Alberg is the volume. You know, Chukwe is always live for the knockout. But when it comes down to volume is what wins fights. So I'm gonna have to take my boy Carlos Alberg here. And I think he's going to get it done via decision. Chukwe's a tough guy. He got knocked out last fight, but that was an exception. I haven't seen Chukwe get knocked out much. He's a solid fighter. I do think Chukwe has a future in the UFC. I just don't think Alberg is a guy to style on. So in this one, I'm gonna go with Alberg. I'm gonna go against the popular decision. I think Alberg's gonna do well in this fight. I think Alberg's gonna outvolume him, honestly. And now we're kickstarting the best fights on the card. We got Chris Curtis versus Rodolfo Vieira. Everybody knows my biggest blunder of my entire career was picking Rodolfo Vieira to tap out Anthony Hernandez. Man, that made me look so bad. I lost so much money from there. I disappointed a lot of my followers, you know. And I'm not going to make that mistake again. He beat Dustin rear naked choke. Okay. But he also, Anthony Hernandez, he gassed out so quick. Like, he went for the finish, but then boom, gassed out. Literally had nothing in the tank, was finished by Hernandez, you know. Other than that, he's been able to take people out very quickly via submission. I've been watching Vieira since his days as a brown belt when they started calling him the black belt hunter for just tapping black belts out and destroying them. His wrestling game is solid. But Chris Curtis, like, Vieira's my boy, but Chris Curtis is not the man, the action man over here. 28-8, solid fighter, solid coach. Defeated Brandon Allen by KO in his last fight. I know he does have 8 losses, whatever. He's also had 36 fights versus Vieira's 9 fights. Defeated Phil Hawes, who you guys just seen look outstanding, former college wrestler. Kenny Robertson, another one. Jeremy Hatch. You know, he has some solid victories, guys. Chris Curtis, look through his record. He's battle proven. He's a fucking veteran, guys. And Vieira, I'd be lying to you guys if I told you he wasn't live for a first round sub. He is live. That prop, if you guys want to see the prop bets, go to MMA Gambling Expert channel. Basically, I'm going to be bouncing between the Win Daily and MMA Gambling Expert channel, Win Daily being the main channel. But I will post some side stuff on the MMA Gambling Expert channel. But I'm confident here. I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. I'm very confident. If this goes past 2 minutes and 50 seconds in the first round with no takedown, Chris Curtis is going to win this fight. You know, I'm very confident in there. Next fight, I'm going to try to speed this up a little for you guys. I know it's late. And we're gonna go into the next fight, guys. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Nate Maness. You guys know I'm high in Nate. I like Nate Maness as a fan, but Umar Nurmagomedov is gonna smoke him, guys. Nurmagomedov probably locked in bet, maybe the number one locked in bet of this fight card. The odds aren't the best, but yeah, Nurmagomedov should easily take this one. Moises versus Giagos, guys. I would break it down. But I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. I really think Moises is gonna murk this guy. Moises' wrestling has been improving. His jiu-jitsu has been improving. His striking has been everything has been improving. Moises is a solid top 15 fighter in that weight class. I can't say the same about Giagos. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna take Moises and I'm gonna bet him confidently. I'm gonna take Nurmagomedov confidently, Curtis confidently. And we're gonna move on to Parisian versus Badal. Honestly, I don't have a good take on this fight, guys. Why are so many people high on Parisian? Alan Badat to me is a more versatile striker, but I see all these experts hammering Parisian, and for like none of them gave a good reason. He lost to Danton Mays, knockout. That's not a good loss. But, okay, he lost to Parker Porter, not a good loss. Like he doesn't impress me at all. Parisian, I'm not gonna lie, big dude. He is a favorite, but I'm not impressed. You guys know I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I represent Detroit. I represent the D. I represent Dearborn Heights, all that shit. He's from Brighton, Michigan. We used to wrestle against him. Brighton is solid, but Parisian, guys, he's not big around here at all. Nobody really knows him. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even train out of Michigan. He might. If he does train out of the Scorpion fighting system, which is listed on Tapology, he needs to gain some IQ points because that's not a legit fighting system. MMA Factory, Alan Badeau coming in. The Black Samurai lost to Parker Porter, mutual losses. Came to a draw with Nascimento. I like Nascimento. Tom Aspinall is a loss. No one should be ashamed of that one. Todd Stout and whatever. So the Tapology fans are going with Badeau here. The experts are going with Parisian. But to me, the value is like in a fight like this where it's like they both suck. It's a heavyweight fight. Anything can happen. The value really is on the underdog. I'm not going to bet this fight, really. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not high in this fight. I'm not going to really bet it. I do think Parisian is the rightful pick here to win the fight, but this is a 50-50 fight, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Badeau came out and smoked him within a minute of the fight. So Alan Badeau is versatile in the striking. I'm not betting this fight, guys. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of this type of low caliber betting. And now we're going to move on to the next fight. We got, guys, I'm not even going to try to act smart with you guys. We got Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Neil Magny. Neil Magny has not been putting out his best performances. Of course, Neil Magny's always fighting the cream of the crop because he's a solid fighter. He's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Wow. And I thought he fell off, but he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Max Griffin, I didn't watch that one. Geoff Neal, we bet Geoff Neal there. We bet Magny there. Michael Chiesa, we had some heavy plays on Chiesa to beat Magny, and wasn't even close. Lawler, Martin's not in the UFC. Lawler's too old. Chiesa is fighting. Chiesa's solid. Geoff Neal, not that great as we've seen. Max Griffin, that's a bad. That's a win right there. Okay. Plus 300 underdog, though. For a UFC veteran like Neil Magny, I kind of do think that's a little bit disrespectful. But Shavkat Rakhmonov, no joke. Carlton Harris smoked him. Prazeres smoked him. Oliveira smoked him. You guys are knowing. I'm gonna just hedge this fight. I'm going with Rakhmonov. I'm very confident in Rakhmonov. I'm gonna have him as a parlay piece, guys. So let's move on to the main event. I cannot wait to break this down for you guys. You guys know, man. Like, you guys know how high I've been on Arman Tsarukyan before he even came to the UFC. I've been talking about him as the #1 prospect. I really feel like if they allowed him to, Arman Tsarukyan, when he first entered the UFC, not now, not years after developing and having these crazy fights, before he fought Makhachev, if they brought him into the UFC, I really think Arman Tsarukyan already was top 5. Just right off the bat. GAMROT is a solid fighter, but like GAMROT, he's a solid fighter. You know, he beat Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira is an animal of a grappler and extreme cardio and striking, and he submitted him due to strikes. That's impressive, guys. That's impressive. I'm not going to knock him for that. That's impressive. Jeremy Stevens, I'm not too impressed by that. Scott Holt, nope. Guram Kudaladzej, I think GAMROT won that fight. You know, they gave it to Kudaladzej, but I also think Kudaladzej won the fight last week, and they gave it to Ismagulov. So I guess it's fair right here. Everyone's getting cheated out of fights, apparently. GAMROT, I'm not going to count that as a loss. I really did. I'm positive he won 2 out of 3 rounds. Kudaladzej is a beast, though, both of them. And that's another win. It's Marion. You know, GAMROT is the underdog. I could see why a lot of people are high on him. I could see why a lot of people are taking him by submission. And he's a live dog. GAMROT is a solid striker. GAMROT, believe it or not, people don't know this. GAMROT is a former wrestler. He wrestled for a while. He's a wrestler. He's also a great jiu-jitsu practitioner. And we got Arman Tsarukyan. The dude is a beast. The dude's an amazing wrestler. And guys, you know, if you guys have followed me, when it comes down to it, there's something called the X factor. And when a wrestler is so good that I give him the X factor, then guys, like, it's like their wrestling is better than anyone else's striking or jiu-jitsu. Like, if I take Tsarukyan here, I'm telling you guys, GAMROT will not knock him out. GAMROT will not take him down. GAMROT will not injure him. GAMROT will not submit him. I'm telling you guys, Tsarukyan's going to take this guy down and pound him. Because why? Tsarukyan is right now, Tsarukyan is the #1 lightweight prospect. Not getting enough respect. Only 25 years old. Tsarukyan is the future champ. Tsarukyan might be even a multiple-time champ. And I really do think he's going to have 5, 6+ title defenses when he's in his prime. So, guys, I'm going with Tsarukyan here. And that's going to conclude the fight for us. The fight card for us. Guys, you guys see, I gave you guys a lot of good predictions, a lot of good bets. And guys, please tune in. Go subscribe. MMA Gambling Expert. My name is right there. Go subscribe to that channel. But more importantly, subscribe to the Win Daily channel, guys. We have so much things coming up on this channel. We just had some technological issues, which were my fault. But this Win Daily channel, like Win Daily, is a solid website. Win Daily is, when it comes down to fantasy sports and betting on fights and betting on sports, Win Daily is #1. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Win Daily is #1 by far. So if you guys want to make money throughout all these other sports, whatever, you go to Win Daily and you subscribe. Win Daily is #1. Win Daily is helping me out. They're excellent. Jason owns a company. Jason's a great guy. He gives me every opportunity I can. You know, he's worked with me. He's been patient with me. So guys, you guys subscribe, support this channel. We got a good channel going on. We got a good community. Hopefully this community grows to be a community where we just talk to each other and predict the fights every week and make money every week together, guys. So unfortunately, that's the end of this card, guys. And I would love to see you guys tune back in the next video. And